Europeans have always had lice. Let's not beat around the bush. Or rather, let's talk about the fact that Europeans never stopped scratching theirs. Because while they were busy calling other civilizations dirty or primitive, they were literally crawling with parasites. Not figuratively, literally crawling. Head lice, body lice, pubic lice, all three. And not as a rare occurrence, but as a chronic European condition. Medieval monarchs itched under fur-lined crowns. Victorian children were sent to school with combs soaked in vinegar, not because it worked, but because they hoped it would. Aristocrats powdered their wigs to cover the eggs. Louis XIV's Versailles Palace didn't even have functioning toilets, but it did have lice. Meanwhile, let's be clear, in Yoruba society, children were groomed daily with carved ivory or wooden combs, oiled with shea butter, and kept parasite-free. In the Andean highlands, Aymara women used quinoa ash and mountain herbs to kill lice without ever stripping the hair of its natural shine. In India, Ayurvedic texts described how to maintain the scalp and the spirit. No synthetic soap, no lice, no shame. Even among the nomadic Tuareg of the Sahara, whose environment was dry and harsh, lice were not normalized because hygiene was ritualized. But Europe made it fashion. They invented powdered wigs, not just for style, but to hide infestations. They wore layers of wool in warm seasons, slept in damp communal beds, and avoided bathing for religious reasons. Some didn't even believe water should touch the body, and when lice spread typhus and trench fever in their wars and colonies, they blamed the weather, not their own filth. They colonized entire continents while scratching their scalps raw, dragging lice to lands that had no lice problems before contact. They brought parasites to boarding schools, to plantations, to prison camps, to indigenous villages, and called it civilization. They exported infestation. They globalized itch. And when non-Europeans described their own ancestral hygiene methods, Europeans laughed, called it folk medicine, witchcraft, unscientific. But somehow vinegar and powdered wigs were enough to make them enlightened. Europeans have always had lice, but worse, they've always had the audacity to act like they didn't. Cope.